Let's do some news and notes here. Tommy DeVito, as Jamie mentioned, will start for the Giants. Drew Lock is injured right now. So probably not as, in my opinion, not as good for Malik Neighbors because he was getting some more explosive plays with Drew Lock.
I think statistically the big problem is probably just not as many plays that go forward. Tommy DeVito has one of the most insane sack rates of any quarterback ever. 11% this year, 16% last year. That's the percentage of the times that he drops back that he gets sacked. I think Drew Lock was closer to 9%. So yeah, more sacks, fewer passes, not good.
Okay.
So they played one game together. Obviously, that's the only game that DeVito started. It was the game against Tampa Bay. He had 9 targets, 6 catches for 64 yards.
Yeah. I'll probably still get targets. It's just right. I mean, Ravens DST, hooray. Aidan O'Connell might play on Monday. They haven't released the practice report yet. They will do that today. He probably won't practice today, but O'Connell still might play. Joe Burrow has a knee injury. He says he's going to play. Will Levis apparently looked good in practice, so it looks like he's going to play against Cincinnati. Will Levis had the lowest ADOT, or air yards per pass attempt, of his career last week, and he stunk. So probably get back to airing it out. Justin Herbert has a thigh contusion and an ankle sprain, and we talked about him as potentially a tough call because he's got Tampa Bay and hopefully gets McConkey back. McConkey was limited, but you got to assume he's not going to be able to run as much. You know, that had been a big part of his success when he had that great 4-game stretch. He even talked about how it really hurt him against the Chiefs last week, just not able to run as much. So thigh contusion and an ankle sprain for Herbert. If you guys think I'm wrong about that, please jump in. Derek Carr has a concussion and a broken hand, and we're not expecting him this week. They haven't announced a starter yet for the Saints. Running back news, Isaac Guerendo is pulling a LaRusso. He's going to fight tonight. Ken Walker is day-to-day. You guys can't be feeling optimistic about Ken Walker playing this week, are you?
Not at this point. I mean, the good news is that it doesn't seem long-term unless you're a Zach Charbonnet manager and you want to see it be out for a few weeks. But it's going to be frustrating when he comes back because he's obviously not going to be 100% until he is, ready to go, which, doesn't seem like it's going to be this week. And then will they go right back to him as the lead guy? So again, referencing our show yesterday, we have a former Seahawks running back on the show. And Robert Turbin said he thinks that, Charbonnet's earned the chance to get more touches, which makes sense.
I will say that in the ultimate revenge playoff matchup, after Jamie beat me by 80 last week, he has Zach Charbonnet. So we're very much hoping for a return of Ken Walker, chop those touches up. Maybe Zach Charbonnet scores like 8 fantasy points. That'd be great.
All right.
It would go. It would be aligned with how the season's gone for me with that team. Because anytime I get somebody back healthy, that another player gets hurt. So not fun.
It's fantasy football for you. Tony Pollard missed practice with an ankle injury. Still expecting him right now. Bucky Irving missed practice, so I can't say we're expecting him at the moment, but things could change. Alexander Madison should play this week, but Sincere McCormick is going to remain the starter. So just to get it out there, you'd start Guerendo over McCormick, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And wide receiver news.
Sincerely, I would do it.
Yeah. DeMarcus, sincerely, you would start Guerendo. Don't confuse people. Demarcus Robinson was limited. We'll see if he's able to play tonight. DK Metcalf practiced in full. I know, Jamie, you said you wanted to see him practice in full. He did. Doing that on Wednesday might be a good sign. We'll preview that game tomorrow. George Pickens likely out. Josh Downs was limited. Sterling Shepard missed practice. Ladd McConkey was limited. Rashad Bateman practiced in full. Cedric Tillman and Romeo Doubs, they're both still in the concussion protocol, but they're making progress. So they have a better chance to play this week, obviously, than they did last week. Cedric Tillman and Romeo Doubs. Noah Brown. Bad news for Noah Brown and the Commanders. Sorry to see it. Likely out for the season, Noah Brown. Tight end news. David Njoku, day-to-day with a hamstring injury. I'm keeping my eye on this one here. Missing a Wednesday practice isn't usually a big deal, so hopefully he's going to be okay, David Njoku. Tyler Higbee not going to play tonight. Evan Ingram missed practice with a shoulder injury. He has a bad matchup against the Jets. And Trey McBride was limited with a knee injury. We'll see. Not going to panic yet on the Wednesday stuff. Trent Williams is out tonight. And it looks like the Lions are going to get Taylor Decker back, their left tackle. Houston offensive guard Juice Scruggs is expected to miss a few games. On defense, Sauce Gardner is going to play. Jair Alexander practiced in full for the Packers. The Giants lost another defensive player. Safety Tyler Nubin's out for the season. Hello, Nubin. Carolina cornerback J.C. Horn is day-to-day as they get Dallas. This is the big one. Denver cornerback Riley Moss missed practice. Doesn't look like he's going to play this week against the Colts, and they were so bad without him. That was kind of like an exaggerated performance of how they were without Riley Moss last week. They'd probably be better, but they could use their number 2 cornerback.
That was
I don't
against
think they're going
Jameis,
to play
right?
Levi Wallace.
That was 2 weeks ago. Yeah, it was against Jameis.
I mean, what's the difference in passing yards per game between Jameis Winston and Anthony Richardson? Like
150?
I was
the difference in drops between the Browns receivers and the Colts receivers too.
Yeah, that's a problem. Reed Blankenship could be coming back for the Eagles. Marshawn Lattimore could make his Commanders debut against the Saints. Wouldn't that be nice? Harrison Butker could play this week.